Alright, it's happening. I'm reading Almost There by Farrah Rochon. I am so incredibly excited to read this book because The Princess and the Frog is one of my absolute favorite Disney movies, and so I hope the author will do this story justice. I know literally nothing about the premise of this one aside from the tagline, which is, "What if Tiana made a deal that changed everything?" I don't know about you, but I'm intrigued. I don't really know what to expect because I have never read anything from this author before. This is her first Twisted Tale book, and I have not read anything else from her before. I know she writes mostly adult romances, at least that's what I am familiar with in terms of her work, but I have never read anything that she's written, so hopefully I will enjoy this one. And so I guess the only thing that's left to do now is start reading, so let's get started. Okay, so I am on chapter 15, which is page 140, and so far I'm happy to report that I am absolutely loving it. I don't want to be too quick, but I feel like this might be my favorite Twisted Tale that I've ever read. And I don't say this lightly because I have loved other books in this series, but so far this one is just perfect in every way. This is impeccably written. The ambiance and the atmosphere is there. Like, I feel like I'm in New Orleans. I feel like the author has really nailed Tiana's character. The food descriptions are to die for. They're making me hungry. I also love the fact that we're following multiple perspectives. So yes, Tiana is like the main character that we're following, but we also have chapters from Dr. Facilier's perspective, which I find to be very intriguing, and we also have Naveen. So overall, this is just making me love the movie even more. This is making me want to rewatch it because it's been a while since I've seen it, and I am very excited to see where the story will go from here, because so far the story basically follows Tiana after the deal that she's made with Dr. Facilier. So I am curious to see what will happen, because there's like an omen. What we know something is going to happen, but we haven't reached the point where like the plot really kicks off. So far it's been all ambiance and setup and character development, which I'm all here for. And it's been interesting to read about our characters like after, like the aftermath of what happens at the end of the movie slash like this new twist that we have. But I feel like there's gonna be something. I don't know what exactly, but there's something in the air, and I am excited to see what it is and how it will impact the rest of the story. Alright, so I have this theory. In the book, we have this character called Mrs. Rose, and she sells flowers. I know, very on the nose, but it's very Disney, so I do like that. I like the little nod. So this character, Mrs. Rose, has been a little bit like sketchy since the beginning. I've had my eye on her because we don't have any indication that she does magic, but somehow her flowers like are either blooming and then wilting very quickly. For example, she gave Tiana a barrette and it had like rose buds on it, and the next day the flowers were in full bloom, and Tiana was like, wait, what? That's not possible, is it? And then she also gave her like portraits or just like paintings, and she know exactly where to put them in the restaurant despite never having been in the restaurant, so she cannot possibly know where things would go and why it would look good, you know? At first I was just like, I don't know, something was up with that character. She's going to play a big part, but I wasn't sure how she came into play. But then I had an epiphany one morning. I woke up and I was like, this character is basically Mama Odie. In the movie, she's kind of this witchy character, and I feel like her capabilities and just like her character would be so well transferred into Mrs. Rose. I don't know, I feel like this would be a great way for the author to integrate Mama Odie, even though like technically the story takes place after everything that happened in the movie. So I don't know, I feel we don't have any confirmation, but I feel like I might be onto something. So I have about 100 and maybe 50 pages at most left to read. Less than that actually. I'm on page 336 and we are so close to the end. I am still very much enjoying the book. The plot has taken a completely different turn in the second half, which I think was needed. The first half of the book was very slow, very like ambiance and like character driven. The second half of the book is more plot driven, meaning that now we're on a quest and we have returned to the bayou, which I think is really nice. I like the change of pace. I think it was needed. I think if the book had been all like the first half of the book, I would have been a little disappointed. As much as I did enjoy the first half of this book, I think having something a little bit faster, something a little bit more plot driven was needed to just move us forward. I am very curious to see how everything is going to resolve itself in the end, because so far like it looks like there's no way that we are going to get a happy ending. But you know, I know that Farrah Rochon probably has a very like fun and exciting idea to wrap everything up, something that will make sense, something that I will be excited about. So I am really looking forward to reading how it's all gonna end. So let's finish this book. So I finished reading Almost There and I have to give it a 5 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed every single second of this book. I just loved everything about it and I couldn't recommend it more. It is probably by far my favorite twisted tale that I've read, and that is saying something. I feel like I have enjoyed a lot of twisted tales, but none of them have ever really reached like the favorite level. This one is it. This is the one that out of all of the twisted tales you should pick up for sure. Like this is the one that I would recommend to even people who don't necessarily read the twisted tale series, because I think it had like a great ambiance. It's perfect for this time of year if you are someone who's looking for a cozy read, also something a little bit spooky maybe. This is great. Also, if you're someone who enjoyed The Princess and the Frog, of course I would recommend this to you. And if you're someone who enjoyed the twisted tales, I feel like this is another one that you are probably very much going to enjoy. Like I said, by far my favorite so far. I am excited to see what else this author has in store, because I believe she signed a 2-year contract with Disney Books. So not a 2-year, but a 2-book contract. And so we are supposed to be getting another installment from her. And I have really high hopes because this one just really blew me out of the water. I don't know what to add that I haven't already said, but this was just so good. You guys should definitely pick it up if it wasn't already on your radar. All right, so I guess this concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had such a great time filming this because I just really loved this book. Let me know what you thought about the book if you've read it already in the comments down below. No spoilers, please. And I guess that's it, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!